Hi guys, welcome to this video. I'm going to be making a total drama what if this time. This isn't a my way thing. This is going along with what I think would realistically happen in a certain scenario. So this traces back to the second episode of Total Drama Island. The first one was a challenge. What if Ezekiel didn't make sexist comments? It does change the time. I think it would change the timeline quite a bit. I haven't even thought of what I think is going to happen yet. I'm simply going to be creating. I'm going to just be doing this as I go along. And I'm going to be using in-universe logic. I'm not going to change plot armor or create plot armor without valid reasons to assume so. So everything goes by the same until the discussion where the boss has to decide who to vote off. Everybody wanted to vote off Courtney, and they would have voted her off if it weren't for Harold. If it weren't for Ezekiel making those sexist remarks. In this timeline, Ezekiel does not do this, and they vote Courtney off instead. And I know she was essential for plot points, but as I said, I'm not creating any plot armor. I'm not going to create plot armor to keep her in. I'm just going along with what I think would happen. In the sleep challenge, I'm thinking that the Gophers would still win, as I do not think, because we already know how everyone apart from Ezekiel does. Gwen won for the Gophers originally. I do not think Ezekiel would be able to beat Gwen. Heather would still pull this stunt with Eva to get her voted off, which was a pretty smart move, and I still think this would happen. Eva gets voted off in episode 3. In episode 4, the Bass won originally because of Harold's mad skills. But in this timeline, they do not win, and this is why. In the original, they needed Courtney's leadership to wake up Duncan when the Bass were losing. But now that Courtney isn't here, there wouldn't be anyone with the leadership to wake up Duncan, so he wouldn't be woken up, and the Bass would not have won the challenge. And keep in mind that Harold would never get an opportunity to show off his mad skills this time around. And he was seemingly at the bottom of his team this time. But there's also Tyler, who did really badly. So I'm going to put Harold down. Yeah, the Gophers have won. I'm going to put Harold and Tyler up here. Who do I think? They obviously will vote for each other. Who do I think the rest of the team will vote for? I'm thinking Ezekiel would vote for Tyler, since him and Harold were getting along. Katie and Sadie would both also vote for Tyler, since that's who everyone... Since Tyler threw a ball at Sadie's face earlier in the episode, and I think that Tyler would get voted by Sadie for that, and her BFF, Katie. But I think that Bridgette, Duncan, DJ, and Jeff are all going to vote for Harold. Tyler gets the final marshmallow by a 5-4 vote. Harold is voted off, and now without Harold, the Bass can't win the talent. Or actually, I'm thinking that the Gophers would just have all the same people. I can't picture Noah having a talent he would show off that the Gophers would realistically accept. So I think that it would still be Justin, Heather, and Trent playing for the Gophers. For the Bass, Bridgette would not end up destroying Courtney's violin. And I'm thinking that she would get... I'm thinking that she would go up along with DJ. Then Jeff is about to do the final act up until his skateboard breaks and they have to send someone else. Katie and Sadie are covered in barf. They can't go up. It's between Tyler, Duncan, and Ezekiel for the final act of the night. Who do the boss send? I'm thinking that they send... Ugh. I'm thinking that they would send Ezekiel to do something to do with archery, but that would not be enough. Who do I think is getting voted off? You could only vote for the people who did their challenge. So Bridgette, DJ, and Ezekiel are put up for elimination. I think that DJ is going to be safe, and the votes are split between Bridgette and Ezekiel. It would suck to see Ezekiel go this quickly, but I'm not creating plot armor. I'm going to do what I think realistically would happen. Assuming Ezekiel doesn't make sexist comments. Tyler is... I'm thinking that Jeff and DJ would both vote out Ezekiel along with Bridgette because they're tight with her. And Bridgette is getting voted over DJ because she made mistakes in the episode, like barfing on everyone. And everyone really liked DJ, and yeah, they liked Bridgette too. And Ezekiel just doesn't really have any bonds, so I'm thinking he's a target. Sorry, I need to just change something. I'm gonna cut this out of the production of the video. The Discord notifications are so annoying, in my opinion, but now they're gone, so they won't bother me anymore. So that's DJ and Jeff voting for Ezekiel and Bridgette, so that's 3 votes Ezekiel. Ezekiel would vote for Bridgette. And I'm also thinking that Duncan would vote for Bridgette, even though she was close with his friend Jeff, and I do not think Duncan liked Bridgette, as Duncan actually did try to get Bridgette voted off in Phobia Factor. I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure Duncan was the one that voted Bridgette there. It was only 1 vote, so it wasn't enough, but still, I'm pretty sure that Duncan voted for Bridgette and tried to get her eliminated. Katie, then there's Tyler, who probably also votes for Bridgette. Katie and Sadie are the swing vote. I'm thinking that since Bridgette puked on them, they're gonna vote her off, which I can also see Ezekiel getting voted off here, but I'm thinking that Bridgette gets voted off 5-3. Letting Ezekiel get the final marshmallow of the evening, and Bridgette gets voted off. And now the boss would lose yet again because of Katie and Sadie. In the original, Katie was voted off, but who is going to be voted off this time? We know that Katie and Sadie both vote for Tyler. So who voted for Katie? I'm thinking that out of these 5, I think I'm going along with who I think voted for who originally. Tyler voted for Sadie, Duncan voted for Katie, DJ voted for Sadie, Jeff voted for Katie. I think Bridgette voted for Katie, Courtney voted for Sadie, and Harold voted for Katie in the original. So who would Ezekiel vote for between them? As it's essentially his... This is just what I think. None of this is canon, but it's what I think. So whatever Ezekiel does between the BFFLs is essentially what decides who goes home. I will assume that Ezekiel votes off Katie, since I can also see him voting for Sadie, but Katie was voted off originally, so I'm just keeping that. I can also see the opposite happening, but I'm going to assume that Sadie is safe, Katie is out. In phobia factor, the teams are really imbalanced. The Gophers have 11 people, the Bass only have 6. So who are the Bass? Looking at the points, Courtney wouldn't be able to help Duncan and DJ. I'm changing this challenge to highest percentage of people that completed their challenge. Duncan and DJ did their fears originally, but they needed Courtney's help to do it. Without her, I don't think either of them would have succeeded, so their points don't count. I'm thinking Ezekiel might actually be able to face his fear. Sadie got a point originally, Jeff failed his originally, and Tyler technically did face his, but his point wasn't counted, so that's 33%. The Gophers would have, I think Justin and Noah would both fail, honestly. The Gophers have 7 out of 11. I'm not entirely sure what that percentage is. I'm not going to take the time to figure it out, but I know that's more than what the Bass have. Even if Tyler's point was counted, it would still be more. And I'm thinking that DJ, Duncan, and Jeff would stick together, and Sadie would still be ticked at Tyler about the incident that happened in Dodgeball, so she would also vote Tyler off. Tyler would vote for Duncan, since he also had a bad fear. Regardless of what Ezekiel did, Tyler would be voted off either 5-1 or 4-2. Now, this is where the Bass finally catch a break. They finally win in episode 8. Regardless of what happens, the RCMP still come to arrest Izzy. So even if the Bass did lose, Izzy would still be voted off. Izzy would still be out. Episode 9. Cody would still get voted off in the same way as the original, with being mauled by a bear, and this curse thing would still happen with Beth. So ultimately, Cody and Beth still have the same really dumb eliminations as before. Episode 11, the Bass lost this originally, but now we have to be logical about this. Which team is actually going to win? By the way, I didn't actually consider what would happen in these rounds because Beth was apparently cursed, which means that they automatically lost. Looking at the Gophers and the Bass, I'm thinking Gwen and Heather would still do the same challenge as the original, and so would Duncan and DJ. So Gwen and Heather win, giving the Gophers the first point. Who gets the second point? Hold on, what was this challenge? I'm pretty sure this was the cooking challenge. Trent and Lindsay go up, and they lose to Jeff, and then someone has to be replaced. So I'm going to just say that Sadie goes up here and she does the cooking, and I doubt she would, even if she did mess it up, since Lindsay and Trent did so horribly in the original, I'm going to assume that the Bass will get this point. There is a chance that Sadie would mess up, but I'm just going to assume that she doesn't, because it just wouldn't make sense. For the third point, it was Sadie and Courtney originally. I'm changing that to, I'm gonna keep Sadie doing this, and I'm going to put Ezekiel in this challenge as well. Lashana and Owen still do it for the Gophers, meaning that the Gophers have finally the Gophers win this point, meaning they just need to win one more to win. Then it's the part for the Gophers, since they have 8 people, I'm going to say that you can't, once you've been up once, you can't go up again until everyone has. Gwen and Heather did the first part. Lindsay and Trent. Lashana and Owen. That leaves Justin and Noah to do the swinging challenge. If you've been up twice on the Bass, then you can't go again. Sadie's gone twice. Harold and Bridgette did this originally. Keeping DJ and Jeff there. I'm gonna say Duncan and Ezekiel do this, since Jeff and DJ did the last part originally. Who would they... I'm thinking that they would win, which leaves it as a tie. Jeff and DJ for the final part, where the same thing ends up happening. Jeff and the DJ. The same thing would end up happening between Jeff and DJ. And the Gophers have to send 2 people up. I'll say Gwen and Lashana, since they went originally. Jeff and DJ do win, but because DJ took off his blindfold for a second, the Bass have ultimately lost the game. I am going to make the so who are the Bass gonna vote off? I think it is between Ezekiel and Sadie. Duncan, Jeff and DJ are all gonna vote together, obviously. So it's essentially their decision on who goes home. Regardless of what Ezekiel and Sadie do, it's their decision. And I really do not know. Since Harold, I think they would probably dislike Ezekiel more. Like, he might be doing something similar to Harold. I don't know, but they really did not like Harold, and Ezekiel, I can picture them picking on him like they did with Harold. So I'm going to assume Ezekiel gets voted off. Basics training. Again, Gwen would win for the Gophers. This challenge is kind of unfair since the Gophers have twice as many people as the Bass, but I'm keeping the rules the same. Bass lose, vote off Sadie. For episode 13, Extreme Torture, let's have a look at who would win. DJ and Trent do the first part, DJ still wins. Lashana and Jeff do the second part, Lashana still wins. Then I'm gonna say that Duncan has to do the third part, the skiing. I feel like he would still wipe out like in the original Harold did. There's only 3 of the boss players left, but now Duncan and Lindsay go as normal. Gophers win. Now these 3 are all tight. Who do they vote off? I think that DJ is safe since he won his challenge. So DJ gets the first marshmallow. Duncan and Jeff will have to go against each other and vote for each other. Who is DJ going to vote off? Would he rather get rid of Duncan? Since Duncan failed 2 challenges, Jeff only failed 1. Or would he vote out Jeff because of what happened with him and his smell? I'm going to assume that DJ I think DJ was more open with Jeff than Duncan. So I'm going to say that Jeff gets the final marshmallow. Duncan might try to threaten DJ into voting off Jeff, but I don't really see Duncan doing that since they're friends. Overall, I think that Jeff will get the final marshmallow of the evening. Duncan gets voted off 2-1. Now it's the merge. DJ and Jeff are here. So looking at this cast, we are missing Duncan and Bridgette. And they have been replaced by Justin, Justin replaces Bridgette, and Noah replaces Duncan. Two people get brought back, and I'm going to assume that Izzy and Eva are still brought back. I can't picture Chris bringing Bridgette back over these two. And Duncan had just been eliminated. I doubt he's bringing Duncan back. So Izzy and Eva are brought back. And in episode 15, Lashana still wins the challenge. Eva gets voted off. Heather still pulls the stunt with Trent in episode 16. Gets a random immunity as normal. He gets voted off. Episode 17. This is where things change. There is no Duncan. No Guys Alliance. The numbers are tied out anyway between the genders. I think that out of the final 10, who is winning immunity here? It's just that Justin and Noah are here instead of instead of Duncan and Bridgette. I'm thinking Noah would be pretty smart. And he might just go to home base immediately, resulting in him getting immunity. Lashana would still win, like the original. Heather would find DJ and Owen and get immunity. everyone, and I think Justin would end up getting caught by Chef, but then Justin would probably be able to, like, charm Chef. So Justin has immunity. So I think Justin could charm Chef into not spraying him. And then Justin would make a run for home base. Chef would notice and would spray Justin. Overall, I can see he might win immunity, but I think he's still going to end up getting sprayed. So it's the final 10, except Noah, Lashonna, and... So Noah, Lashonna, and Heather all have immunity into the top 9. Who is going to be voted off? I'm thinking Noah. Him and Justin had a very big rivalry. I think they would both. Well, I think Noah would try to get Justin voted off, but everyone else likes him. Except maybe Izzy. Maybe Izzy would vote for Justin, but I can't picture anyone else doing that. So now for the votes. I think that Heather and Lindsay are going to vote. Actually, Heather wanted Justin out originally, so she might actually try to get the numbers to vote Justin out, like she did in the original. She convinced Owen originally, which I really don't buy, but it happened, so I'm going to have to assume this happens. Meanwhile, Heather, Noah, and Lashonna have immunity. I think Lashonna... I think that these votes might be split. If all 5 of them voted together, then it would be a tie. But I think Justin is going to be voted off at 10th place. Hold up, why does this say Screaming Gophers? I forgot. This should be merge, and the Killer Bass can just be deleted. So moving on. We've reached our final 9, and this is the... this is just the bike challenge. It's pretty much the same cast as the original. Duncan is replaced with Noah. Who is going to lose? I cannot picture Noah doing anything good. Lindsay still gets the same unfair elimination as the original. And I really, again, this is just really dumb. And I would change the elimination, but I just can't, but I don't have any reason to assume this would change, and therefore I'm keeping Lindsay getting the boot. Final 8. Again, DJ's still going to get the same unfair elimination. Like Lindsay's elimination, I would change it if it were up to me, but I'm not creating plot armor. I'm just going along with what I think realistically happens. So he gets eliminated. Final 7. Again, it's just basically what if Noah was here instead of Duncan. So Heather and Duncan would not make the alliance, obviously, as Duncan isn't around any longer. What the animal that Duncan got, Noah gets. Thinking Izzy would still shoot Actually, without Duncan, Izzy might not shoot Heather. But I still do not... She would have to try her best. But I still think she might have to lose the challenge. Gwen wins, but this challenge doesn't award immunity, so it doesn't really matter who gets voted off here at the final 7. As Duncan actually did make quite a big difference in this episode, so without him, who gets voted off? I think that Izzy, Noah, and Owen will have a 3-way alliance. Heather knows that she needs to get people on her side, seeing as she's at the bottom, so she probably has to convince them to vote with her. Who would Heather try to eliminate? It's between Jeff, Gwen, and Lashawna. Gwen got the votes originally because people were jealous of her winning the challenge. And it's really unfair that she was put up for elimination in the first place. But I think that Gwen is going to be unfairly eliminated at 7th place. I do not want to eliminate Gwen here, as it would be really unfair to do that, but I think it's what's realistically happening here. Final 6, I think that even though Duncan isn't here, it's probably going to be popularity based, and Jeff gets voted off. Final 5, this is where the losers have to eliminate someone. Same thing happens with Lashawna. So we have a final 4 of Heather, Noah, and Owen. Having someone who returned to the game end up in the final 4 feels a bit weird. I don't want Izzy to get this far since she returned. But I think this is realistically staying the same. But I feel like I think this is realistically what's happening. Izzy is in the final 4. This challenge was boys versus girls originally. And I think Chef would keep it like this. I think that Heather and Izzy. I think that Noah is pretty smart. Heather is pretty smart. Izzy is pretty smart. Owen is not very smart. So who do the final 4? So who would the final 4... Well, which team is going to win, basically? I think Izzy might actually be able to fight the Sasquatch Aqua, because she's a very talented acrobat, if they were to encounter it. I'm thinking that the girls would win. Chef has to eliminate the player of his choice between Noah and Owen. And I think Owen would be eliminated for eating Chef's food. And I don't really see any reason for Chef to eliminate Noah. If you think that he would eliminate Noah, please tell me in the comments. But now we have the final 3 of Heather, Izzy, and Noah. Who is going to lose the Triple Dog Dare challenge? I realistically think that Izzy is going to do very well here, as she is very talented. She is quite unpredictable, but I think since this is the semi-finals, and it's a sudden death boot, I think she's going to try to be strategic. All 3 players here are pretty smart. I think they could all try to be strategic and try to dare each other. Would Heather still... I think Izzy is Izzy's not losing. I think Heather is a lot better physically than Noah is. But I think that I think that Noah is realistically going to fail a dare before the hair challenge. I think he might be able to do some of the dares, but not very many. So Noah gets eliminated in the semi-finals. He got a lot farther than he did originally. Oh, Owen's supposed to be here. Noah's supposed to be here. He got a lot farther than he did originally, so that's really cool. He was originally the third person voted off, but Ezekiel not making sexist remarks gets him to the final 3 is just insane. I didn't actually picture him getting this far when I first thought of the idea. I didn't even know who I was going to have end up in the finals when I first started making this video. So Heather and Izzy are the finalists. Izzy returned. She was previously voted off and returned. I don't know. I did not want to put her here, and really both of these people did generally rely on plot armor, but this plot armor would still realistically exist. And I didn't really want to put either of them to the finals, to be honest, because there are so many times where Heather would have been voted off, such as in episodes 9 and 10, or even episode 16, where she's about to be voted off only for this to happen. Only for her random immunity to come into play, which makes no sense, and Heather is voted. Overall, Heather and Izzy are the finalists in this universe. So, Heather was the 3rd placer originally. Izzy was the 7th placer originally. I'm actually just going to see all the placements and compare them to their final placements. Courtney came 14th originally and comes 22nd here. Harold came 13th originally and came 21st here. Bridgette came Bridgette came 10th originally and 20th here. Katie came 19th originally and 19th here. What a coincidence. Tyler came 18th originally and 18th here. Cody came 17th originally and 17th here. Beth 16th here and original. Ezekiel came 22nd originally and he came 15th here, which is an improvement. Sadie placed 15th originally and 14th here. A slight improvement, but it was only by 1 episode. Duncan came 4th originally, but in this timeline he comes 13th. Which is quite disappointing for him, to be honest. Eva's and Trent's places are unchanged. Justin came 20th originally and 10th this time. Him and Bridgette actually swapped rounds they were eliminated. Lindsay and DJ both got the same as the original. Gwen got 2nd originally. Well, 1st or 2nd, but her ending technically isn't canon, so I'm counting her as 2nd originally. DJ came... so she came 2nd originally, 7th here. Her and Izzy also swapped places. Jeff and Lashonna got the same ranks as the original. Owen came 1st originally. He came 4th here. Still really good. Noah is the biggest improvement here, coming 21st originally, which was 2nd last place. But this time he comes all the way to the final 3. Which is honestly just insane. 21st to 3rd, jumping up 18 ranks. Heather came 3rd originally, Izzy came 7th originally. They become the final 2. Both get a winning ending. I'm gonna say Heather wins the official ending since Izzy returned, and Izzy is the alt winner, so yeah, I'll say Heather is the overall winner of Total Drama Island. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Bye!